Gore readings and all that bullshit. Dan normally says, "This is Squared Circle Society, sponsored by Flesh Wound Features." Todd is here, but more importantly, the Taker is here, aka Soultaker is here. What up, dude?
See, it's funny about you being a that you said Taker first before the Soul Taker.
It's your
But
first name, right?
it's cool. You have that right to say that.
I got
Co-host, you can say it too. Co-host, if you want to say it, go ahead and say it.
As much as I want to, YouTube's not going to be okay with it, so we're going to keep them to the minimum. Unfortunately, I know.
Okay, just say Ninja Taker.
There we go.
All right. So you got the ninja pass. That's cool.
That's right. Right, exactly.
All right. So how you doing this morning, man?
Well, it's morning where you at, but it's afternoon where I'm at. But I'm doing great.
All right, cool. And where are you at today? Who's getting buried?
Who's getting buried?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. It's no souls matter.
Put in my place, absolutely.
We already got a question in the chat.
All right.
And that's from our buddy Dan.
Dan asks, "What first made you fall in love with pro wrestling?"
What did I? It's hard to say. Growing up watching pro wrestling, I think I saw Hulk Hogan's Rockin' Wrestling first, the cartoon.
Okay.
All right, that was my first introduce. When I was first introduced to pro wrestling, then when that cartoon used to come on Saturday mornings, the actual WWE superstars would come on, and I said, okay, these are like actual real people. So I got hooked, and by me watching WWE, I used to think Hulk Hogan was the leader of the good guys, the baby faces, and I always thought Roddy Piper was the leader of all the bad guys, the heels. So, and I just got hooked with, the drama, the characters, and all the other wild things that go with pro wrestling.
You guys are all living superheroes and supervillains, so that captured my imagination as well. So who was your favorite growing up then?
Well, I really didn't have a favorite. I just liked the aspect of it, the action, the drama. But how did the Soul Taker come about? The person that captured me was Mark Calloway, the Undertaker. So ever since I seen him put the Ultimate Warrior in the casket, and growing up, I was always a fan of, Michael Myers, Jason Voorhees, and once I seen that aspect in pro wrestling, that what made me, like the character as more. Because if you look at some of Mark Calloway's podcasts, he copied a lot of his stuff, his setups from Michael Myers, and he incorporated it into what he does, from transitioning over from me, Mark Callis, to, the mortician version of the Undertaker. So yeah, that's about it. So I'm a big horror movie fan.
No. You're speaking our language, brother.
Speaking of horror movies, specific one.
Go for it, Todd.
Okay, have you done a body bag against a tree spot? It's Friday the 13th, Part 7 reference.
I wrestled a guy who did like a Jason Voorhees type character before, like years ago, and it was the body bag versus the sleeping bag and stuff. So unfortunately, I didn't get put in the sleeping bag because the sleeping bag that he brought to the event, I was too tall to fit in it.
Been there.
which my body bag fitted him just right. So, and of course, I went over in that.
Hell yeah. So any other like standout matches that you've had like with cool like gimmicks like that?
Yeah, your character has like so many. There's so many cool gimmicks you can do with it, like specialty
Uh,
match wise.
I've done lots of casket matches, lots of
Yeah.
body bang matches. So it really doesn't matter who I step in the ring with, because if they step in the ring with me, they're going to go either in the casket or the body bag.
Right on.
Um,
Now, real quick, I've noticed you are brave in your promos, saying actual N words, but more importantly, addressing like I would say Benoit's family. That was honestly, I don't get my jaw dropped for much, bro. That rocked. Dropped my jaw. I'm like, did he really just say that? This is awesome. You became my new favorite. You're rad. Where did you get that
Yeah,
confidence?
yeah. Well, I'm gonna tell you this: when I'm in front of a live crowd, I do not know what I'm going to say until I get out there. I've been saying controversial shit for the last 20 years plus years and stuff. And my thing is, I'm the soul taker. I offend the living. No limits. You can't cancel what's already dead. That's my whole thing. And that promo that you referred to is when I took on Sean Longhorn. I said, hey, you may wrestle like Chris Benoit, but when I'm done with you, you're going to be Nancy.
That's fucking good.
so that's up there with like Bubba Ray, mom, daughter sucking dick. That's one of my favorite ones.
Yeah, right.
So that
Exactly.
was also a perfect fit. You found a perfect home with XPW.
Oh,
How'd
yeah.
that come about? Because
Yeah.
we
And,
want you on the west side too, buddy.
Yeah.
well, that's the most requested. Everybody from the West Coast wants a piece of the taker over there.
We're
You
ready
know,
to chant it for
they
you.
want no souls matter. Well, you gotta petition it. Hey, get the taker on the West Coast. I destroy most of everything over on the East Coast.
I'm down. We gotta get this going.
Let them know how bad we want.
Well, I can tell you this. I was told in the future I was going to be a part of the shows over on the West Coast. So it hasn't came about. But most of the times when them shows happen, I'm already booked somewhere. So it's like I'm wrestling somewhere just about every weekend,
Right.
and stuff. I got a lot of out of town bookings that's coming up. So yeah, I have to be booked like way in advance. October is already filled up.
I was gonna say.
How's next October looking?
But
Let's get ready.
hey, they gotta book me from here. So they gotta book me from here. So
All right.
so I can be locked in.
Yeah.
Regarding those promos that someone in the chat called murderous, all the Soultakers live XPW promos have been murderous. I agree. Has there been any backlash that you've had to deal with? Not that you would care to begin with.
Fuck backlash. I say what I say. This is wrestling, If Donald Trump can get away with shit, so can I.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's one thing with that we love about your character XPW. Like I don't want the limitations. We want it just there. I mean, we don't want it soft, I guess. We want it realistic and violent.
Yeah.
Oh, I keep it real. I
Yeah,
bring a lot of real life shit to my promos. I don't sugarcoat anything. So
that's what we
I'm
love
on
about
I'm
you.
all natural.
Yeah.
A lot of these shows I do, they chant the fans. If I don't cut a promo, they chant, "Give him the mic."
That's awesome.
They will chant it until the ring announcer or whoever has the microphone. They will chant that until I get the mic. Even if I gotta just say "No souls matter," but when I say "No souls matter," all I get the crowd says it with me. I could say "No souls" and the crowd would say "Matter."
Yeah.
That's awesome.
You know.
Our we have another question. Do you have a dream opponent?
Uh, no, not offhand. I just
I
go
would.
with the flow.
How often have you been asked about Blue Cane at this point? I'm assuming it's going to be a lot.
Well, let me tell you this. When that guy started that character, who was one of the names that he mentioned on his Twitter?
Yeah,
Me,
it was you.
me.
Of course it was.
So he know that I am something like the Undertaker on the Indies.
Yeah,
He knows that I'm something like the Undertaker on the Indies. So for him to call me out, and he lives out in the UK, I am open for the challenge right away. You know.
maybe they can. Maybe that's
So
first show of the XPW UK whenever it launches. That'd be awesome.
well, yeah, because he put Soultaker fears Blue Cane. But how about this? Soultaker fears the Taker, a word that they use a lot over there in the UK. I'm sure Prince Charles or King Charles or whatever they call his name, I'm sure he used that word to his servants, right?
That's a safe bet.
Right, right. So
Any
let's get it going. Let's get Soultaker versus Blue Cane. I think whomever, whether it is XPW, it don't matter what promotion. If they were to book Soultaker versus Blue Cane, just imagine the internet blowing up. Imagine it going viral
I would
because
love
we are in that day and age.
Rob Black, if you're paying attention to this, make this happen and make it on the west side and kill all the birds with one fucking tombstone.
I know there was a comment.
Dan says, I want Rob Black to say, tonight you will have to go one-on-one with the Ninja Taker so bad. Holla, holla.
Just imagine if Teddy Long says that.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the buddy. So what do you have coming up? Like anything you want to promote? Any big shows? What do you consider your
Well,
home
I'll be
promotion?
in. Repeat that again.
Do you have like what you consider a home promotion, or are you just kind of a nomad at this point?
I got several home promotions in Michigan. I got XICW, Extreme Intense Championship Wrestling, and I got Northwest Championship Wrestling, Pro Wrestling All Stars, Metro Pro Wrestling, to name a few. Them like my major home promotions, but I will be making my debut in Houston for Loki Wrestling in Houston on August 26th. So that's going to be a lot fun. I have like the link in the Instagram at Evil Soultaker about that, and I understand that that event is almost sold out. Once they advertised me on the card, a lot of people got excited about me coming in. So it's I'll just tell you this: I am a draw when I'm in other states. Michigan, I'm not a draw because everybody's seen me, you know. But when when I'm out of state, you know, it's like if you're bringing in a WWE type name and stuff, and you'd be amazed when I'm on shows with former WWE superstars, and they're like, "Oh, I want to work this guy. I want this guy. He's got the look, you know. He's got the build, you know. I'm not sure, and plus, I'm almost, you know, I'm close to 50 years old more than anything, you know, mid 40s and stuff. So, and it tells you, I still got like a lot of energy going on, you know, as far as wrestling. And when you're doing more character work, you have more longevity in pro wrestling, especially you on the independent level. And speaking of independent level, we have Woo 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 doing the Indie Taker, right? Mark Cardona, right?
Yes, sir.
I understand he wants to wrestle Blue Cane, but I believe he fears getting chokeslammed by the Demon of Fear, the Soultaker. Woo woo woo.
There we go. Time to take that half. Time to take that half from him.
Yes, take the hat, bury it.
I have to say, when you made your XPW debut at Theater Brutality, I think it was 2. I can't remember the number, but I remember like letting, you know, Pugs and like our other co-hosts know, like, you got to watch. It's like the best debut in XPW history. I was so excited. I knew Pugs would be too, because we've been following you, you know, previously.
That was really cool. Well, yeah, that was at the very first Theater of Brutality.
First one.
Back in October of last year, where I made my debut when I choke slammed the body through the table, and I made my statement saying, "Hey, the Taker has arrived in XPW, and I'm undefeated in XPW. So you put him in front of me, I put him down.
Streak has already started. Fuck yeah.
That's right. And wait till I bring me a faction in XPW down the line, or any other group."
Well, if you're looking for a Paul brother, I volunteer.
Well, you could join my Ministry of Darkness.
Count me in. Where do I sign?
But we don't have no pall bearers. Remember, I am not the Undertaker. I am the Soultaker. Undertaker says, Paul brother.
Paul brother.
No, I need somebody to call himself Harley Racist.
Oh. I can't play that role, but I would love to. That's
instead of than Harley Race, we call him Harley Racist.
Dan, grow some balls.
Really? That last one?
Right. Yeah. That manager name will go perfect with Taker.
Oh my God.
You know, coming down the ring with his manager, Harley Racist. Here is the Taker.
I want this to happen so fucking bad, dude. Yes.
Because I listened to one of your podcasts when you were talking about the results for XPW, and you were saying, what if he came out on a motorcycle and all that, and the stuff you talked about. Yeah, I already had that name. I did that before, but I didn't have a motorcycle. I did call myself the American Black Ass.
That's awesome. See,
where I had to.
You get it. It just rolls. I love it.
Oh yeah.
So have you done Big Evil as well?
Oh, Big.
Okay.
That's it. Big. Here comes Big. The American Black Ass.
That's I love it. Any other things you want to I think you have like a McMahon character too at times, right? Like,
yeah, that was the alter ego, but the Michael Antoine McMahon character died years ago when I used to do the McMahon character was the illegitimate son of Vince. And I can just say with that, I was just like Vince, but I was say I have revitiligo every year. My skin get blacker and darker. Actually, that I was a white guy and everything, and I got a skin condition, and you people are making fun of me because I'm getting blacker and blacker. And I will come out with a Confederate flag and saying this is the true flag of your town and everything. So, yeah. And I also did the Mike McMahon Kiss My Ass Club. If you look on YouTube, you can find that where I did that with Tracy Smothers, where I said his name wasn't Tracy Smothers, his name was Freddie Joe Floyd, his old WWE name. And I said the real ECW came on a Sci-Fi Network, So just look it up. Matter of fact, I'll send you the link
Awesome.
Online so you can check it out. And I also did something J, NI double G, double A J A double R double T. Yeah.
Black Nuts, right?
Motown's greatest thing. Right.
I like your brain, man. It works.
And the funny thing is, some years ago I was on a show with Jeff Jarrett and stuff. He seen me at Soultaker. He was like, yeah, Charles Wright, aka the Godfather, was the original Soultaker and everything. And I said, yes, I know that. Because if you was to Google Soultaker the wrestler, me and his pictures show up.
Yeah.
And it's like he knows about me. We talked online, me and the Godfather, and I told him, and he said he don't mind, because he didn't have a lot of success with the Soultaker name. His more success came from, the Nation of Domination, the Godfather, and doing the Papa Shango stuff.
Yeah.
That's where his success came from. And if he would have had a problem, he would have been said something about the character. But other than that, he likes it. He likes the character, the black version of the Undertaker. But I don't do a lot of the stuff that the Undertaker does. I don't have a hat and a coat. He says rest in peace. I say no souls matter. I come out with a shovel. He didn't come out with a shovel. So it's like when I started this character, it was people chanting Undertaker wannabe and all that. But now wherever I go, it's not that, because it took a while to make, duplicate something that's similar, but I actually made it my own. It all started as a parody with the Nigga Taker and everything. And a lot of people say, hey, you should just start wrestling like that. And I started doing it without a mask, in the early days. Then I transitioned over to where I'm at now.
I'm glad you did, man. It's this whole thing works for me. It's so damn good. I'm a big fan.
Do we want to do one more question before we get out of here?
Well, there was a simple one I saw that asked, "What's your favorite horror movie?" Since we are normally a horror podcast.
Michael Myers, Halloween.
There you go. No argument. We're good with that answer. All right.
Yes. If it wasn't for Halloween, you wouldn't hear about Jason Voorhees and Freddy and all that, because them, when you were a kid, them were the names that people were bringing up, the top three names. And still to this day, them are still the top three names in horror when you think of stuff, even though Leatherface came out first and stuff. Then down the line, you had Chucky came out. Then you had Hellraiser, Pinhead came out, and all that. But the most feared people, to me, Michael Myers is more realistic because he's in a neighborhood, and people with mental health issues are very, very strong, if you believe it or not. But and when you look back at Halloween 2 that came out, that the remake of Halloween, the actual part 2, when he was in a mental hospital, and they did the storyline right, where he was an older man locked up in a mental facility and stuff, and they did it right. And by them killing him off, finally, it kind of makes sense that he was wore out, he was tired. When you look at Halloween Ends, where they went 4 years later or so, where whatever it was. And it's like Michael Myers don't go to hospitals or anything, so he was in a sewer, like trying to recover, eating rats or whatever the case may be. So a lot of people didn't like Halloween Ends because the Halloween Ends was more of a Laurie Strode story than anything. It was a slow start, but I think they should have went the other way. So.
Oh, Dan's being an idiot in the chat. How do you mistake a fat 5-foot-tall mental patient for Michael Myers? LOL. All right.
He's still the Halloween's nonsense. All right.
Yeah, right.
Always got to get.
Oh, they were talking about they was talking about that other guy, right? That was
that was Kills. Yeah.
Who was bought? Yeah, right. Okay.
Evil dies tonight. There we go.
Oh yeah. Evil dies tonight.
All right.
Well, on that note, Mr. Soultaker, thank you for your time, buddy. And really looking forward to you coming to the West Coast whenever that happens. Before we let you go, please pimp and promote all your shit, all your socials and upcoming dates that you know off the top of your head.
All right. Well, Evil Soultaker on Instagram, and it has a Facebook link where it's a like page. You could check that out. And I post a lot of my flyers of events that I'm on. I got tons of videos on YouTube. Just search Soultaker Wrestler / Taker. You'll see like different matches I had throughout the months and the years or whatever the case may be. And that's about it. And I'm probably like 30 minutes out before it's time for me to get out there and choke slam some souls, because the rain has stopped.
Nope.
And it's time for No Souls Matter.